Welcome to Grigsby Digital Home Studios. Today, we had a project for Halloween, and we're putting together a mad scientist spare parts specimen jar. With just a jar, some fake blood, and a few creepy body parts, we'll create a prop that looks right at home in any haunted laboratory. Here's what I used: a jar with a screw and lid, 2 fake fingers, 1 eyeball, and an ear. For the liquid, I used fake blood I picked up at Spirit of Halloween. And for the finishing touch, I made a label on my computer, printed it out, and covered it with Scotch tape so I could stick it right to the jar.
Stick it up that way so the bone shows. So here's what it looks like down its side.
Here's something else I learned. Body parts will float if they trap air inside. The eyeball was hollow, so I had to squeeze water into it. The ear had a little air bubble that I worked out by turning it. And with the fingers, I poked a couple of small holes and squeezed them, kind of like a rubber duck in the bathtub, until they filled with water. That way, the parts stay low in the jar instead of bobbing up at the top.
Good. You want to make sure that you fill everything up before you put it down in there so it don't float. Let's see if I can get that up against the... It's really dark.
Now, sometimes fake blood can be too dark and thick. A good trick is to dilute it with water until you get the right color. You can even experiment with other shades blue or green for toxic fluid, or yellow if you want it to look like old decay.
So, that looks pretty creepy. The ear will go down in there, I know. Okay, I've had to make a little small hole in the top here. These wanted to float, these fingers. And so now what I'm doing is just making some holes in it. Be careful when you do this. Try not to cut yourself. And just squeeze them, kind of like a rubber duck in a bathtub or something. And get water sucked inside. This one's giving me trouble. Be real careful, folks. You can also use red food coloring, it'd probably be better. That looks pretty creepy. Put just a little more blood in it. I ended up having to put a little more water in it to dilute it, because it was too dark and you couldn't see down inside of the glass container. I just want to cover up that bone right there. Yeah. Now, put on our...
Once the liquid was ready and the parts were waterlogged, I dropped them in and sealed the lid tight.
That ball really looks creepy. There's the ear and the fingers.
To finish it off, I added my label, Spare Parts. It's simple, but it makes the jar look like a real laboratory specimen. And there you have it, your very own spare parts specimen jar. A simple project with a creepy payoff. Thanks for tuning in to Grigsby Digital Home Studios. And until next time, keep creating, keep experimenting, and have a frightfully fun Halloween.